Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jai Hind. So I hope I am properly audible and visual to all of you. Good evening. So I hope I am properly audible and visual to all of you. I am quite good. I hope all of you are also doing well. Good evening. Okay. So in the last session, we were discussing about topics like we have discussed about multilateralism. We have seen that there was this one article, one editorial, which was suggesting that multilateralism is over. And in that context, what could be India's approach? So that was one article which we have discussed. Then we have also discussed about this one article, which was with respect to the forest governance. Okay. We discussed about dark matter also, and we have discussed about other related topics. Now there is this one question that please tell us about approaches of Mahatma Gandhi and Subhash Chandra Bose. Okay, I will talk about this. Okay. Now, the topic which we are going to discuss in today, one is about the editorial with respect to this earthquakes. Okay. So today we are having this one editorial. You may have seen last week also, there was a very minor earthquake. There was a very minor earthquake in Delhi, and let it be minor only. Okay. Let us pray that all the times when earthquake is coming, it should be minor only. It should just have that news article or coverage that there was a minor earthquake. So let it be like that. Okay. So we have got this one thing, editorial, that is okay, about the earthquake. Second thing which we are going to talk about is miscalculation on reinforced one front war. Okay. In the last week or perhaps prior to that, we have talked about this one editorial, and that is the beauty of reading newspaper on daily basis. Okay. That you will get multiple points. Last week we have got this one article that there is no such two front war. I think you remember this. We have discussed about this one thing, that there is no two front war. There is one reinforced front. We have seen that there is one reinforced front of China and Pakistan. Okay. So this is one such article which we have discussed, I think, in the last week. And now there is a counter editorial in the same newspaper, the Hindu, that miscalculation on reinforced one front war. So this article is suggesting that we are not having a one front war. Sorry, we are not having a reinforced one front war. So that is also one editorial which we are going to discuss today. Okay. Then we are going to discuss about this new one scheme of government of India, that is PM Dhan Krishi Yojana. So we are going to talk about this one. Then we are going to talk about some updates with respect to India and Maldives relation. And we are also going to talk about this renewables in India, that how much renewables we have achieved, how much renewables we have got, and at the same time, like what is the actual capacity, what is the actual production of renewable energy in India. So these are the topics which we are going to discuss in today's session. Today we are also not having the questions. I could not add it. Okay. Right now the offline classes are also going on, and due to traffic and all, I could not reach on time and I could not add question today. So we will discuss the questions tomorrow. We will discuss some additional questions tomorrow. Okay. So let's start with this one part. There is this one question. What is the difference between the approaches of Subhash Chandra Bose versus Mahatma Gandhi? So can you tell me what is the difference between them? If I ask from your side, can you tell me what is the difference in the approaches by Subhash Chandra Bose and Mahatma Gandhi? So I think all of you have read somewhat history. you have read about the Indian national movement. So in that context, can you tell me what was the difference in approach? Garam dal, naram dal. It was not simply like that. Okay. In fact, what you will see that like format of themes में क्या लिखे? हाँ, अच्छा, you are asking just about these themes. Okay, let me tell you, like whenever you are talking about the themes, what you have to do, you have to first find out that how there were similarities and what differences were there in the approach. You have to find the similarities and the differences in the approach. Okay. If we talk about Mahatma Gandhi and Subhash Chandra Bose, both were like working for this independence. Both of them were having this one thing, independence. Here also same goal was there. Okay. Both of them were working for independence. Both of them were of this view. Both of them were of this view that we need to have governance by Indians. Okay. We need to have this governance by Indians. So here also that is same. If you look at them, both of them believed in power of organization. So it was same. They were also having this similarity in terms of like participation of all. Participation of all. They wanted to have participation of all. Okay. So it's not that Mahatma Gandhi and Subhash Chandra Bose were quite different in that manner. There was different only in the method of achieving these goals. Okay. So these were the goals, or these were like the broader objectives which Mahatma Gandhi and Subhash Chandra Bose, they wanted to do the same thing. They wanted to do the same thing. Now, what we see the difference was like Subhash Chandra Bose wanted to utilize, he wanted to utilize the time of the Second World War. Okay. He wanted to utilize this, utilize the opportunity. But in this case, the approach of Mahatma Gandhi was more of idealistic, at least for the 3 years. Till the time they have gone for the Quit India movement, what we see that there was this idealistic approach where they said that British is already engaged in a war, so we are not going to create additional problem for them. So it was an idealistic approach. Okay. It was an idealistic approach. Here there was a realistic approach. Here there was this realistic approach. Okay. Mahatma Gandhi still believed that we have to adhere to this non-violence. We have to adhere to this non-violence. And Subhash Chandra Bose was of the view that now the time has come. Now the time has come that we will have to fight with the British. Okay. It's time to have our own army and oust the British. Okay. So here it was simply independence through armed revolt. So that was one difference. Okay. In fact, you will find that it's not like that Subhash Chandra Bose was saying something against Mahatma Gandhi. He was simply saying that Mahatma Gandhi is still our ideal. But I don't agree with his methods of achieving this. He wanted to have this approach where we can simply go and snatch the victory from the British in the present time. He thought that this was the right moment when we can go for it. And both of them have contributed in their own manner. So this is something which we have to like see between the difference between Mahatma Gandhi and Subhash Chandra Bose. So that is one such thing. Like when you have to prepare the themes, you can like search more themes with respect to that. Okay. So this Mahatma Gandhi was not opposed to Subhash Chandra Bose. Neither was Subhash Chandra Bose opposed to Mahatma Gandhi. The opposition was merely of the approach, that how they are going to achieve the independence. So it's not that they were against each other. They were going towards the same goal, but in a different manner. So that was the difference in the approaches of Subhash Chandra Bose and Mahatma Gandhi. Okay. So should I have to go through another batch for? See, in this batch in Bharat, the answer to that is, like in this batch, we are covering some of the editorials, some of the current affairs. We are seeing some of the part of it. Now in Adhyan batch, we are not only reading the topics, we are also doing more and more answer writing practice of it. We are also doing this answer writing. We are not just simply preparing the current affairs or the news article, we are preparing it in a holistic manner, in a theme wise manner. So that is a different batch. This is a different thing. Here we are looking at just current affairs. There we are looking at the integrated preparation using the entire themes plus practice question plus answer writing. So that is a different thing. Okay. So this is one first part about Subhash Chandra Bose and Mahatma Gandhi. Okay. So I hope now it is clear what Shiv Shankar, I think you have asked the question. So I hope now it is clear. Okay. Now we are coming to this one topic. Sorry. We are coming to this one topic about earthquakes. So recently we have seen that there was earthquake in Delhi. Okay. Now tell me one thing. All of you have gone through geography. I hope so. Okay. So tell me, why frequent earthquakes in India? Why frequent earthquakes? Why we are having frequent earthquakes? Can you tell me why we are having this frequent earthquakes in India? Like, what is the main reason? Why we are having this earthquake in India? Any idea about this? You all know that if we look at the root of this, what we see that there is this collision of Indian and Eurasian plate. There is this collision of Indian and Eurasian plate. Okay. We know that we are having this collision of Indian and Eurasian plate. On the western side also and on the eastern side also, we are seeing on the eastern and western side also, what do we see that in this eastern and western side also, we are having like this, what you can say, transform boundaries. Okay. Eastern side also, we are seeing that there is this existence of transform boundaries. Transform boundaries. Plus, at the various places also, like in along the Delhi also, along various other parts, there is presence of certain faults. Okay. The third factor, what we see that presence of faults. So there are three prominent regions. Okay. On the northern side, we have the convergence. We have the convergence of Indian and Eurasian plate. On the northern side, we have the convergence of Indian and Eurasian plate. On the eastern side, we have this transform boundary between the Eurasian and the Indian plate. And at the same time, in the middle of India also, there is presence of various faults like the mid plain fault, which is passing through Delhi and all regions. So there are multiple such factors which are giving rise to possibilities of earthquakes in India. And if we look at the recent times, there was one such massive earthquake, a disastrous one in 2001 in Bhuj area. In Bhuj area in Gujarat, there was this earthquake which was of magnitude 7.7. It killed thousands of people. Then we have seen there was an earthquake, a massive earthquake, or rather we can say a series of earthquakes in Nepal in 2015. In April and May 2015, we had a series of earthquakes. So they were of magnitude 7.7 and 7.8 respectively. So we see that in the past, in the case of Bhuj, in the case of Bhuj in 2001, we have a earthquake of magnitude 7.7. In 2015, we had this earthquake in Nepal of magnitude 7.8. Now, in the case of Bhuj, we have seen that there was a massive tragedy. There was death of thousands of people. In case of Nepal earthquake, there was no such higher casualty or damage on the Indian side. But in Nepal, there was massive destruction of property and loss of life. Now, what we see that we are on that verge, we are always on that verge where we see that a significant population, around 300 million population in India, around 300 million population in India is continuously living in a highly active seismic zone, around 300 million population. So what we see that there are 300 million population. They are living in high risk zone. They are living in this high risk zone. Okay. So this is one part. Like what we see that in the case of India, there is always a vulnerability. We are having this root cause. Plus we see that there are 300 million people who are on that risk. Now at the same time, the tectonic, like apart from these factors, the global earthquakes, like recently we have seen in Alaska. In Alaska, there is a massive earthquake. In Alaska also, there has been a massive earthquake. So if we look at all these things, then what we see that in India, there is a very high possibility of severe scale disaster due to earthquakes. Okay. In Myanmar, we have seen that there have been significant earthquakes in this year itself. In the case of March 28, 2025, there was earthquake. Andaman and Nicobar Island, they are also facing the threat due to possibility of tsunami due to earthquakes in Indonesia. So we have the challenge from all the sides. Okay. Now, these are one part. What other vulnerabilities are there? Like when we talk about our country, in the north belt, you will find we have got many cities which are having significant population. Like we have the city of Delhi. Okay. In this part itself, you will also find that we have the portions of Lucknow, Patna. Okay. We also have regions of Guwahati. These are the areas having very high population. Even you can include Varanasi also. Okay. You can include somewhat portion of Varanasi also, although not that much challenge, but still Varanasi is also there. Okay. Now what we see, these areas are on one hand having significantly high population. On the other hand, we see that there is one thing, old and obsolete infrastructure. Old and obsolete infrastructure. Okay. Like if you have visited certain areas of Delhi, if you have gone through many such old localities of Delhi or many such places, you may have seen that how buildings have been created in these areas. Okay. How buildings have been created in these areas. Okay. There is also one part. There are certain areas which are prone to liquefaction. Okay. They are prone to liquefaction. Okay. Liquefaction of soil. What we see that we have got the areas which are prone to liquefaction of soil. We also have several high rises. Several high rises building with lack of scientific construction. So this is another challenge. We have got several high rises. Okay. We have got several high rises also, which are present there in the case of these cities. Like you can see the NCR region, we have got so many things. Okay. These are one segments, like what is the existing structure, what is the existing challenge. And in along with that, what we see that there is plus lack of awareness plus lack of early warning system and what we see that mostly post-disaster management strategy. So we are having three challenges. There is lack of awareness among the people. There is this lack of awareness among the people. Then at the same time, what we also see that even if we are going for, okay, even if we are going for this like disaster management, what we see that our major focus, okay, our major focus is on the post-disaster management, post-disaster relief and management. We are not talking about disaster preparedness, we are talking about what we will do later. And there is also lack of early warning system, but that is not common for India, that is common for almost every part of the world. There is absence of any such early warning system. Liquefaction means where the soil is losing their strength. In the eastern side, you will find that soil is like losing their strength. It is the area where it is having huge moisture soil and all. This is the area of rivers and all. Soil is not so good for construction of building. This was mostly an agriculture area. It is not so good for building. Okay. So this is one thing that we are not having any such solution for it. Like we are not having any such disaster preparedness plan. There is lack of warning system plus awareness among people, that is also lacking. Okay. Now in this case, like tell me about this thing, like what can be the way forward in this scenario? We know that we cannot eliminate the chances of earthquake. Earthquakes are going to be there. Okay. So what we need is we have to retrofit older buildings. We have to retrofit the older buildings. There is one thing called as a steel jacketing. Means normally you are having pillars in your home. those houses which are created on pillars, they have, you can say, a better chances of survival. But those who have been built only on walls, they can easily collapse. So now there is one option, there is one thing called as steel jacketing. So additional pillars can be given in the house which is built even without pillar. So additional things can be provided in there. So steel jacketing can be done. Okay. Then what we see that for new construction, what we see that mandatory following of building codes and designs. Nowadays you may have seen this, that there is generally this one concept. Suppose that if you have seen buildings, you may have seen this one part, that they are taking out their balcony a little bit ahead of their house. Okay, like it is a little bit in the, like it is a little bit towards the front side. Okay, around 4 feet or 5 feet, they construct a balcony with no support. They are constructing a balcony with no support, and they think that it can easily survive. Of course, it is able to survive, but it is more prone to cause disasters. When earthquakes come, they are the first to fall down, or they are first which can cause disaster. Okay. So yes, that is one such thing which you see in case of like construction of buildings. Okay. So what we see that again, what we see here, that in various areas how the construction is being done, we have to look into that also. At the same time, there should be like a compliance check. There should be compliance check from time to time in a regular manner. Compliance check at frequent intervals. At frequent intervals. That if in new buildings, new shops, if they are being created, is their compliance check being done or not? Like, are they compliant to the building codes or not? So that is also one thing which we have to look into. Okay. Then we also have to look at buildings in the areas which are prone to liquefaction. Okay. So we also have to following construction guidelines, in liquefaction zones. And overall, first thing which we require is awareness among people. Plus, we see that there is a requirement of research and development for early warning. There is also a requirement for research and development for early warning. So these are certain factors which are required if we want to reduce the impact of disaster. We also have to work on disaster preparedness. We have to focus on disaster preparedness. Focus on disaster preparedness. So these are the things which we have to look into. These are the things which we have to look into if we want to address any such disaster in India, okay, especially related to earthquakes. So this is the first part which we have to see with respect to the editorial about earthquake. I hope this one thing is clear. Okay. Now, I don't know if you have seen this or not. If you have gone in the hilly areas of India, you may see that like how they have constructed all their houses, like in what manner they have constructed their houses. If you look at that, then staying there, if you want to stay there, then that will be the most challenging part. Okay. So this is one thing. Like if you have seen the hilly areas, the buildings they have created and all, if you see them from the lower side, then you will understand how risky it is. Okay. So try to see them sometime. Okay. After this, we are coming to the second topic. We are coming to the second topic, that is the miscalculation on reinforced one front wall. Okay. Without any planning, they are constructing houses on rocks which can fall down at any point of time. Okay. So that is the most challenging part. If there is rainfall or anything, see, mountains look very good. Mountains look very good. When there is snowfall, it looks much more better. Okay, everything is there. But the life in mountains, if you are actually living there for more than like 1 year or 2 years, then you will realize that, or even for 2 or 3 months, then you will realize that the life in mountainous areas is very much challenging. Very much challenging. So that is one of the most risky zones. Okay. Now, coming to this one part, like miscalculation of this reinforced one front wall. Okay. So last week, if you remember, we have discussed this one article that in India, China and Pakistan, now there is a nexus which is much more stronger between China and Pakistan, and we have a threat of reinforced front war. Okay. A reinforced front war where Pakistan and China will be much more closer. Okay. So what we see that in the recent times, if we talk about China plus Pakistan or China and Pakistan, how China has been helping them. China is providing arms supplies, okay, arms and ammunition. China is providing arms and ammunitions to Pakistan. China is continuously providing arms and ammunitions to Pakistan. We know that. Okay. At the same time, we also know that they are also providing various technology and even satellite support. Like the space technology and everything of China is also being provided to Pakistan. So we know that part. We also have seen that diplomatic support. There is also this diplomatic support which is being provided to Pakistan at United Nations Security Council or other platforms. So there is a diplomatic support also which is being provided by China to Pakistan. Recently we have seen that active engagement of China during Operation Sindoor. Okay. So we are seeing all these things that China is supporting Pakistan. We are seeing all these things that China is supporting Pakistan on all these fronts. Okay. So this is one part. But what we see that does it mean we are having one reinforced war? Does it mean that we are having one reinforced war? Okay. Does it mean that, sorry, this article which is here, it is incorrect. Okay. I cannot change the picture perhaps. Okay. So here we see that one reinforced war, that is something which we have to think. Okay. That is it one reinforced war? Now, if we talk about this, what we are looking here, first thing is, what is the philosophy of Pakistan? with respect to India. What is the philosophy of Pakistan with respect to India? Pakistan considers India as an existential threat. Pakistan thinks that if India is there, it cannot survive. If India is there, it cannot survive. Okay. So Pakistan is thinking this one part, okay, that they have a existential, a constant existential threat. Like the perception of Pakistan with respect to India is that it is a constant existential threat. Okay. But if we talk about China, if we see with China with respect to India, if we see China with respect to India, there is a difference. China see India as a regional competitor. China is seeing India as a regional competitor. Okay. We are not an existential enemy for China. There is no such civilizational issue. If we talk about India and China, there is no such civilizational issue or civilizational war or any such problem like that. We see that, like, if we talk about China and India, China's perspective of India is that it is a regional competitor. But at the same time, if we evaluate, see, China wants India to exist. Why? If you look at this, China has access to a greater market in India. China has a greater access to market in India. So this is one part. China means business, and India is quite good for business for China. So on one side, India is a regional competitor, but also India provides a huge market. A huge market. So here we are not like Pakistan and India. If you compare them, so Pakistan considers India that India is always ready to take over Pakistan. That India is always ready to take over Pakistan. The minute we destroy our nuclear arsenal or anything, India will take over Pakistan. They are having this much thinking. But China and India are having not the same problem. There are certain territorial disputes. There are certain territorial disputes, but not a major one. We have a dispute like any two countries, any two neighboring countries. For Pakistan, it is not a same neighboring countries like problem. They consider India to be an existential threat. Okay. So this is the difference in approach. Okay. This is a difference in approach between Pakistan with respect to India and China with respect to India. Okay. Now in this case also, there is still a threat. The threat still persists. The threat still persists. It's not that we don't have a threat. Okay. What we see that this defense partnership with defense partnership of China and Pakistan, this is like going to increase. This is going to increase defense expenditure of India. Okay. China, what is the China's philosophy? That India should remain under this pressure. India should remain under this pressure that there is always a constant threat from Pakistan, because Pakistan is having all these things. So China's philosophy is this, that India should be under pressure. Okay. But what we see that it is not going to have a full-fledged escalation. It is going to have a contained one to like have pressure on this, have pressure on India. So this is one part. Like still what we see that defense partnership of China and Pakistan, it increases the defense expenditure of India, and at the same time, it harms, it is harming commercial interest. It is harming the commercial interest of India. Like, India is not able to focus on other problems or other issues because of this one challenge. If we don't have to devote that much on defense preparedness, we could be doing something else. Okay. So this is one element, this is one segment, that what is the difference between China and Pakistan. So that's why in this editorial, it is being said that it is a miscalculation that Pakistan and China are going to come on a single front. It is a miscalculation that they will be creating a single front, because the interest of China doesn't lie in defeating India in terms of military. The interest of China is that India should remain an economically vibrant country, but it should not be a competition to China. So China has other agenda. China is having other agenda. It doesn't want to have like that they have to defeat India and control it. They have other like agendas. They want to control the India's economic rise so that they will not face competition. So that is difference in approach between Pakistan and China as per this editorial. So I hope this one part is clear. Okay. तारा सिंह को पाकिस्तान भेजना है. Okay. So now there is one thing. If we talk about the way forward, if we talk about the way forward, now you may have heard this one thing. There is one such thing which is always said, आपदा में अवसर. Okay, that is opportunity. This opportunity. So if we talk about this, opportunity here, what China is trying to do, China is trying to put a pressure on India with respect to its defense help to Pakistan. They are helping Pakistan. So now we know that we have to always be prepared in terms of defense. We require robust defense preparedness. We require a robust defense preparedness. Okay. So this is an opportunity. What is the opportunity? Development of indigenous defense industry. That we need to have a development of indigenous defense industry. So this is the opportunity. They want us to invest in defense. So let us invest in defense in such a manner that we have a state-of-art defense infrastructure in India, state-of-art defense industry in India, which can provide defense equipments to various other countries of the world and can become a global leader in supply of the defense equipments. So this is the opportunity here. That they want us to invest in defense. We have the option to use this challenge as an opportunity. We need to invest so much in defense infrastructure, so much in defense industry, that it becomes a leader of the global defense market. So rather than importing the defense items from France, Israel, Russia or US, we can become the manufacturer of the best quality of defense equipments. If we can make satellites, if we can make very efficient launch vehicles, if we can develop efficient launch vehicles, if we can make the satellites, if we can plan for Antariksh stations, so we can also plan for this. Okay. So here we can have involvement of the private sector, the public sector units, everyone, and we can focus on having a world-class defense infrastructure and defense equipments in India. So we need to, like, this is going to create such a strategic deterrent that after that Pakistan will stop, China will stop giving any such defense equipment to Pakistan. Why? If we become so much powerful that Pakistan can do nothing, then in that moment itself, China will stop supplying any weapon to Pakistan. Then China will go for some other strategy, but not for supplying weapons to Pakistan. Because they know that now doesn't matter how much we are supplying the weapons to Pakistan, it is going to be of no avail. So this is what is an opportunity for India. Okay. We don't have so we can develop. It is about that development itself. We need to develop. Why we cannot develop the jet engines? Why we cannot develop any other engines? We can develop them. Why we are having so many IITs? Why we are having the IISCs? Why we are having the entire DRDO and all those private sectors? Like, we have all these things. Just to give you an idea, Tata Motors has acquired Jaguar and Land Rover also. Jaguar and Land Rover, these are the premium car manufacturing units of the world. So Tata Motor has acquired both of them. Now we have so many great industrialist houses in country. If we don't have the technology, we can acquire a company which is having the technology, and we can use that company's technology to build missiles in India also. So it is not that we cannot do it. Okay. So it is only about the willpower, that are we ready to do it? Lack of funding. Okay. Lack of funding cannot be a problem for India. Okay. We still have, like, right now our defense budget, it's something around 7 lakh crore rupees, and we are using mostly we are using most of the money for paying the pensions and all. Can the government of India not create a fund of 5 lakh crore rupees annually for defense industry in India? 5 lakh crore rupees annually. We are not talking about any simple economy of the world. We are talking about the Indian economy, the 4th largest economy of the world. 5 lakh crore rupees annually for defense industry in India. We have more NPA than that. Okay. So this is one part. Okay. Now coming to the next section. We are investing less on research and development. What government needs to do? Government needs to create a dedicated budget just for this research and development in defense. There is a need that we need to change this budgeting process. If we are allocating 7 lakh crore rupees to the defense sector and only 25% of it is used for capital acquisition and all, so then we need to change it. We need to create a dedicated fund which will be used especially for this defense research and development. Okay. So this is one part. Now coming to this Pradhan Mantri Dhan Krishi Yojana. So you all have been aware about this aspirational district program. In the same manner, what we are going to have, we are going to have 100 districts, 100 districts in India. We are going to identify 100 districts in India. Okay. Sorry. We are going to identify 100 districts in India, On what basis? On what basis? One basis is lower productivity, not the high productivity. The areas which are having lower productivity, we are going to like identify the areas with lower productivity, lower cropping intensity or moderate cropping intensity, and below average credit parameters. Okay. So what we are trying to do on the basis of low productivity, moderate crop intensity, and low credit. So on the basis of this, we are going to identify 100 districts in India. And in these 100 districts, there is going to be convergence of 36 schemes. Okay. There is going to be convergence of 36 schemes. Okay. So this is one thing which we are going to do in the case of this like Pradhan Mantri Krishi Dhan Yojana. Okay. So what we will see that this Pradhan Mantri Dhan Krishi Yojana, under this PMDDKY, it is going to be for a period of 6 years. It is going to be for a period of 6 years. Okay. Like from 2025-26 onwards, from 25-26 onwards, this is going to be a scheme for the next 6 years. Okay. And under this, there is going to be focus on 100 districts. Focus on 100 districts. Now, all the districts, they are going to have their own program. Okay. Customized plan. What we see that there is going to be a customized plan for all districts individually. Like the districts are going to prepare their own plan, that what they are going to focus on, what crop, what agricultural policies, what allied activities they are going to focus on. So it is not going to be only about farming, about the entire agriculture, which includes the allied activities, okay, like dairy and all, they all also will be included. So we are going to provide a total solution for these 100 districts under these like Pradhan Mantri Dhan Krishi Yojana. Okay. So at least one district from all state and union territories. Okay. At least one district from each state or UTs. So on the basis of this, we will have this Pradhan Mantri Dhan Krishi Yojana. It is not about having any new funding or any new thing. It is all about convergence of the existing theme and making a plant-wise approach, in these 100 districts. The aim is to uplift the agriculture in these areas. Okay. So this is one thing. Yes, from every state there is going to be at least one districts. So this is one thing which we are going to do under this Pradhan Mantri Dhan Krishi Yojana. So that has also been announced by the government of India. The Union Cabinet has given the approval for this. This was already announced in the budget of 2025-26 and now it has got this cabinet approval also. Okay. So this is one such thing which is going to be announced. There will be a measurement also, like Niti Aayog, it is going to monitor and supervise. This one is going to monitor and supervise. And there will also be a performance dashboard. So there is also going to be a performance dashboard. So like in all the other cases also, like we have the SDG India index or other indexes. So in same manner, here also we will have a performance dashboard that in these 100 districts, what else has been done? what has been done in these 100 areas. So this is one such new initiative of the government with respect to agriculture in India. Okay. So I hope this one part is clear. Here you will find that there is convergence of state government scheme also, union government scheme also. Both of them are going to be converged. Yeah. So that is Pradhan Mantri Dhan Krishi Yojana. Okay. So I hope this one part is also clear. Now recently, like just see 2 years, not even 2 years, 1.5 years, and how the things have been changing between India and Maldives. Okay. So what we see that Indore, 8th time cleanest city of India. Indore is very good. Like let me tell you one thing. I have gone multiple times for taking classes in Indore. Like I think from 2019-20 itself, I have gone multiple times there. And in Indore, I have seen this one thing. Like in every city, there is the municipal corporation or the municipality, and they have some hoardings, they have some like message which they give to citizens. In Indore region, in Indore city, when I was there, I have seen that like in the streets, each and every that the display advertisements which are there, they are all having different messages. They are all having different messages for inspiring people about cleanliness. So it was not like there is one single message throughout the like all the display or all those ad banners. There is not one single message. The city is focusing on raising awareness, like every dashboard or every such display advertisements which you see, they have a new message about cleanliness. They have something new about this, how we have to keep the city clean. At the same time, like in the morning itself, in the evening also, like I have seen that they are cleaning the city each and every time. Even in the times of rainy season, and I have been there in rainy season also, winter also, summer also. In all these seasons, I have seen that even after rainfall, you will not find that much of water on the streets. So even the sewer system and all other things, they are also working. And in various areas where there is so many shops, like there is one area in Indore, Chappan. There is Sarafa Bazaar also and Chappan also. So in Chappan also, where there are more than like hundreds of shops, although name is Chappan, which means 56 shops, but on the other side also there are many eateries, many shops. So there are, I think, 100 shops around which are selling food items, and every day there is gathering of thousands of people. Still you will find the floor to be entirely clean. There is so much crowd and still the floor is entirely clean. So if 8th time Indore is the cleanest city, it is because of all these factors, that people have that civic sense. People are having that civic sense. Okay. Why only 100 districts? Government has decided that let us start focusing on 100 districts first, and they can become a role model for other districts. It has not been decided by me. They have decided to choose first those 100 districts which are having all these lower productivity and all. So they will try to have like a convergence of schemes there, and this will be a model for other districts, that they can also follow the same thing, and then they can also uplift the agriculture in their area. So that is why 100 districts. Now there is this India and Maldives relation. So how many, any of you from Indore? Any of you who have been living in Indore? Now see, when we talk about India and Maldives relation, what we see that like recently India has been invited, Indian Prime Minister, he has been invited for the Independence Day of Maldives. We see that Indian Prime Minister, he will be going on Independence Day. Independence Day of Maldives. So this is one thing which we have seen, that Indian Prime Minister is going on the this Independence Day of Maldives. Now at the same time, we have also seen, okay, we have also seen that recently India has extended, okay, India has extended a line of credit. India has extended a line of credit of rupees 470 crore to Maldives. India has also provided a grant of MVR, the Maldives rupee, of 100 million for ferry services. India has provided a grant of 100 million MVR. 1 MVR is equal to 5.6 rupees. 1 MVR is around 5.6 rupees. So if we talk about Indian rupees, it is going to be 560 million rupees. Okay. India has provided 560 million rupees to Maldives as a grant, not as a loan, as a grant for developing the ferry services, the boat services between the different islands of Maldives. Okay. India has also provided this currency swap. India has also extended currency swap agreement. India has also provided this currency swap agreement with Maldives. So Maldives was also going through this balance of payment crisis. So India has also provided this currency swap agreement to Maldives. So just to give you a context, 1.5 years ago, like 18 months ago, India and Maldives relation was going through a very tough time. We have seen that there was huge challenge between India and Maldives relation. And within 1.5 years, things have changed enormously. Now, Maldives is inviting the Indian Prime Minister. Maldives is inviting the Indian Prime Minister for this like Independence Day visit in Maldives. So that is a considerable change. That is a considerable change which we see in case of India and Maldives. Okay. So these things are improving between India and Maldives. So that is one change which you see in the recent times. Okay. So I hope this one part is also clear, like how things are changing. And after the Independence Day of Maldives, we will discuss in detail a little bit more about India and Maldives relation. Okay. So now the things have changed. See, Sitesh, the things have changed. There is one thing. There is no permanent friend or enemy in international relations. There is no permanent friend or enemy in international relations. At one point of time, US has put sanctions on India for having nuclear tests. After 1998, 1999, United States has put sanctions on India for having a nuclear test. Just 7 years later, in 2005, India and United States signed a civil nuclear deal in which US has promised that they will supply nuclear technology to India, although they have not provided. But this paved a way, this provided us an opportunity to have nuclear deal with other countries of the world. Okay. So what we see that things change in international relations at a very different rate. At one point of time, India and US were going just towards against each other. At that time, US was very much fond of Pakistan in 1998-99. Then after things changed, then after they started, like after this, like 9/11, they started thinking that Pakistan is of no use. And then they started favoring India. For some time, they have been favoring India. Now we see that the tilt is back towards Pakistan. All of a sudden, they have again started to think that Pakistan is perhaps again some reliable country. So things keep on changing in international relations. They are never fixed. So when India and Maldives were having tough relations last year, then also we have discussed it. No need to go into so much like controversy. Just wait and watch, wait and watch. Things will change. And see, within 18 months, things have changed enormously. Things have changed enormously. Okay. So this, yes, I have told you that geographical importance is very, this geography also plays a very critical role. Geography and economy play a very critical role in international relations. So you have to be ultimately dependent. Let's say if we talk about Pakistan, Pakistan is different. Okay, Pakistan is different. So we cannot like talk about Pakistan. So here when we are talking about India and Maldives, or even let me tell you, India and Bangladesh, for upcoming 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, they can drag this matter. But ultimately, they have no other option. You can see the Nepal's Prime Minister is also going to have a meeting with India. So yes, you can have friendship with China for some time, you can have some good moments. But after that, you have to understand that there is one thing called a geography, economy. You cannot ignore that. Okay. So this is one part about international relations. Okay. Now, coming to the next section, renewables. Okay. Renewables. Now, if we talk about this article is saying that the share of clean energy in electricity is still below 30%. So let me give you a context of it. Last day, in the previous classes, we have discussed about this Panch Amrit. In the Panch Amrit, we have seen that we have a target 50% energy by non-fossil fuels. Non-fossil fuels by 2030. Okay. Now what we see that as of July 2025, the fossils, their contribution is 49.9%, and non-fossils, their contribution is 50.1%. So this was the target which India was made for 2030. We have made a target that by 2030, 50% of installed capacity in India will be from non-fossil fuels. This is 2025 July. We have got 50.1% of installed capacity from non-fossil sources. Okay. In that, the major power is coming from solar. Here it is around 23.98%, that is from solar. Then the second major power is, again you can see, wind. Wind is having 10.66. Hydro, it is 10.18. So at least three you can keep in mind. First number we have got solar 23.98. Then 10.66 is of wind, and hydro also of 10.18%. Okay. So this is one thing. Small hydro powers are also there. So if we combine big hydro projects plus small hydro projects, then it becomes 11%. Okay. So now what we see that although we have got this one thing, but there is one challenge. As per the publicly available data, and as per also this one thing, as per the report, although we are having installed capacity which is exceeding 50% now, the actual generation of energy, that how much we are using them, so we find that it is still below 30%. Okay. So this actual use of the non-fossil is below 30%. The fossil fuels are still responsible for 70% electricity generation in India. So it is like having the same thing. Suppose you are having 10 cars. 5 of them are running on petrol and diesel, and 5 of them are running on electricity. But you are using like let us say 3 or 4 cars of petrol and diesel on daily basis, and you are using only 1 or 2 car of this electric. So suppose if you are going for 6 cars per day, you have got 10 car. Just if you want to understand, if you have got 10 car, you are using 6 cars of them. 5 of them are petrol or diesel, 5 of them are electric. You are using 4 petrol, diesel plus 2 electric. So this is the thing which we are having in India. Okay. That while we have got this capacity, of non-fossils, we are still using the fossils. Why we are using the fossils? There are multiple reasons. First, where they are located. Okay. Like suppose we have solar power plants in Gujarat. They may be having enormous capacity, but in that section, if there is a limited requirement, we are not sending the electricity from Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh or Gujarat to Manipur. So there the capacity is there, but we are not able to utilize this. On the other hand, in other parts where we don't have solar or wind, we are using the fossils. So it's just about this. We have got the capacity, but not in a distributed manner, not in a uniform manner. At some places we have excess capacity, less usage. At some places we have lesser capacity, more requirement. Okay. So that is why despite having the capacity of more than 50% for non-fossils, the actual utilization is below 30%. So I hope that is clear. So these were the articles which we have discussed for today. Tomorrow we are going to discuss the remaining topics. Tomorrow we will see some questions also. I hope these topics are clear. See, when we are discussing editorials, I am telling you, I have told you like multiple times, keep on reading the editorials on daily basis. You will find both end of the story. Here in our classes, we are also discussing editorials, almost 1 or 2 editorials on daily basis. Just because of this, that you will get different perspectives. Okay. So keep on reading them by yourself also. We will also be discussing some of them on regular basis. Okay. So thank you everyone. Take care. All the best and let's meet tomorrow. Take care.